Hey everybody, it's Steve with Real Progressives. You know, across the country, we've had protests breaking out everywhere. Spontaneous protests taking over the airports, making sure that everyone knows that we stand against the bigotry and the xenophobia that has overtaken the land. Now, let me tell you something. It's very important, very, very important. If you don't understand why the white America that you see, the poor white America, that so many people mock and ridicule, are frigging overzealous about Donald Trump and don't understand how Donald Trump came to power, then you don't understand the issues at play. It doesn't matter if you're angry or not. You've got to have a solution for it. Sitting there and coming up with all these cartoons of Donald Trump blowing his brains out may feel really, really good. And trust me, I get it. But the problem is that that's not a solution. And most liberal organizations, most progressive organizations don't have an answer for how to get the damn problem fixed. So you've got people paying a heavy price. I'm talking a very, very heavy price. These immigrants, these poor souls that are caught in the crossfire of all the bullshit that America has to offer. These people are literally living in a fucking hell right now as we've sat there and allowed this shit to happen because we've inflamed identity politics and we've allowed it to cloud our judgment about what neoliberalism is. Most of you all have no clue what neoliberalism is. You use the word like neocon, neo this, neo that, and you just say it, but you don't really understand what it means. And because of that very, very neoliberal policies that have been enacted from Reagan through Obama have made the wealth gap in this country grow exponentially. It has exploded, and people are so insecure. They are so unable to fend for themselves that what they do is they look for a scapegoat. And the most vulnerable scapegoats are the immigrants and other minorities. And so what ends up happening is that you get a president like Donald Trump who fans the flames of those fears and of those anxieties and says, I can make it great again, folks. I can make you winners again. I can make you be on top of the heap instead of down in the bottom with all those other people over there. And so what ends up happening? People get into the I'm Democrat, you're a Republican, and we're going to fight, instead of realizing that the answer lies in economics. And this is why I'm never going to stop fucking talking about it. I don't care if it bores the piss out of you. I don't care if I've only got one person watching. I will sit there and do this every single day as often as I can so that you understand that your ignorance, not you, and I don't mean this negative against you, but our negative, our ignorance in this country about economics and understanding that our country cannot go broke is what is killing us. By allowing people to believe that we're broke, that means we've got scarce resources. That means we got to kick all these people out of the country because we can't afford to have them. We just can't afford to help anybody else because we can't help ourselves. And so that very, very neoliberal privatization, friggin' balkanization of the way we view ourselves and view each other is created a chasm, a social chasm and an economic chasm. And I sit there and I talk to people about this and they tell me to let go of Clinton. Clinton is no longer around. To stop talking about Clinton because she's no longer around. To stop equating Trump as the greater evil or the lesser evil and start realizing that we fucked up and we should have voted for Clinton. Folks, I'm telling you right now, Clinton is the reason that there is a Donald Trump. That's it. Full stop. None of this would be possible if the wealth gap under Obama didn't explode. I mean, explode. The ACA has so many good things about it, but it's got so many ridiculously awful things about it that it gave just enough light, just enough window dressing in there to make it so that we got to do something about it. We always had to do something about it, and that was always single-payer health care. But why didn't we do single-payer? Because people didn't know we could afford it. They thought we would have to raise taxes on everyone. Even darling Bernie said stupid shit like this. Okay? Jill Stein still says it. Even my good friend Shama Swant says it. We've got to stop talking in terms of taxing to spend. Folks, if you don't get this, you're going to have more and more and more Donald Trumps. This is not about we've got to kill bigotry. This is about we've got to erase neoliberalism. This is about we've got to kill neoliberalism so that we don't have to worry about another Donald Trump. A federal jobs guarantee would completely empower workers. It completely allow mobility, class mobility, location mobility, all mobility. We could fix so many problems in this country, but instead, even our progressive friends run around talking about our hard-earned tax dollars going to fund things. There is no progressive party out there, period, until they understand macroeconomic reality. The Greens don't have it going on. They sucked into this stupid AMI positive money bullshit that renders them unable to enact their policies. That whole Green New Deal is the best thing I have ever heard in my life. But it's all based on this stupid positive money thing that has been debunked by us numerous times. Until the Green Party gets rid of positive money and this bullshit about greening the dollar, it can't do what it says, period. Full stop. The Democrats have no intention of it. They will nibble around the edges. They will always nibble around the edges just enough to make you think they're doing something for you. But I've said this before and I'll say it again. If you're trapped underwater and your foot's caught under a rock and the water level is right here and they say, hey, we're going to lower the water 2 inches. See, we did something for you. Are you able to breathe? No. Is the water still drowning you? Hell yeah. What if we lower it down to here? Are you still drowning? Hell yeah. Do you understand? This is what Democrats do. They are useless as wet toilet paper with their neoliberalism. Until we understand we've got to bring the water level down to here so that everybody survives, all your bullshit about lesser evil crap is a ruse. It's a ruse. And under Obama, the wealth gap grew so freaking much, it's unbelievable. Is it any wonder that our first black president, instead of being heralded as our first black president and breaking glass ceilings and being able to be heralded for all the wonderful things he did for equality, is instead a perpetuator of the neoliberal dogma and the neoliberal policies like the TPP and other things that he pushed forward, like the ACA, by yanking the public option off the table? Isn't it amazing that instead of being able to be a champion for real, he's only a champion because of a veneer? Folks, if we don't solve income inequality by a federal job guarantee and understanding we can't go broke. God damn it, we can't go broke. Until you get this, we can't go broke, then you're going to keep getting Donald Trumps. And for every person that talks about we got to raise taxes to fund things, look in the mirror, look at it hard, and say, I am the problem with America. I mean, just seriously, embrace it. Because the only way we're going to change is if you understand that believing, oh my God, we got a tax to spend, until you understand. I'm going to go into a Walmart here soon, and I'm going to do my best to videotape people. I'm going to go up to people with camouflage on and red, white, and blues on and everything else. And I'm going to ask them point blank, look in the back right there. I'm going to ask them point blank, hey, if you could get health care for free, if you could get health care for a reduced rate without us raising taxes, would you in fact support giving everyone health care? If I could give your children dental care, would you in fact do that if we could do it without raising taxes? If I could give your child the best education possible, would you in fact vote for something like that? Exactly. And my point is that if I can talk to them and explain to them this stuff, you will understand how warped and morbid the neoliberal, we got a tax to spend 70s liberal shit is. Do you understand that if we don't get this through our heads, there can be no effing progress, God damn it. It's that important, folks. These people are at the airports. They're not being able to come in the country. There's bans, there's hatred, there's all this stuff. And it's because of you who sat there and said, we got to raise taxes. God damn it. Taxes, taxes, taxes. And if you know who you are, you know who you are. Look in the mirror and say, I created the Muslim ban. I created this. Because we are the solution. We're the problem, but we're also the solution. It's up to you and I to make this that important, that they don't just go and protest at the pipelines, that they don't just go and protest at the airports, that they go, in fact, and protest to Congress and tell them, if you don't spend on the 99%, there can be no country. There can be no equality. There can be no justice without economic justice. It can be no freedom without economic justice. Do you understand this? There can be no justice without economic justice. And God damn it, I'm tired of all my friends and other pundits and stuff not talking about this, not getting this, still sitting there just bypassing this. I'm so frustrated with the TYTs of the world and the friggin' Justice Democrats of the world and all the other fucking groups that sit there and just pipe off and don't know anything about economics whatsoever. I am so frustrated with the Democratic Party, who has the opportunity to change the fucking world. But instead, what do? What they do is they still sell neoliberal bullshit. And you eat it up. It's time for us to rise the fuck up. I am pissed. I am so tired of dealing with trolls and liars and idiots that sit there and believe this and sit there and fight about it. God damn it, let's fix our country. Let's fix it, damn it. I am so frustrated with people ignoring this shit. This is every bit as important as a leaking pipe. It's every bit as important as a Muslim ban. It is the genesis of all our problems. From racism to xenophobia to war to climate change, you name it. This is ground zero, folks, and it's time to rise up. God damn it, rise up. Stop taking this as this some academic exercise. This is not some pet thing. This is it. This is ground fucking zero of a progressive uprising. If you don't get this, God damn it, this is it. Let's make the rich irrelevant. Let's make them irrelevant. Let's do it without them. Fuck them. Fuck the rich, God damn it. Let's do this. I'm Steve Grumbine with Real Progressives. Have a good day.